یک سوال خوبی طرح شد اینه که اگر ایگو بده و ایگو اخه و ایگو، پس سلف لاف چیه؟ سلف لاف. من باید
ایگو به توان دوه.
سوالی که مطرح شد if ego is not a good thing, if ego is bad, is ego good or bad actually after this class?
Bad.
Is ego totally bad? Can we totally get rid of our ego? Impossible. So what can I do with my ego? I have to control my ego. I have to control my ego. I shouldn't let my ego control me, but me controlling my ego. من نباید برده غرورم باشم. من باید غرورم رو کنترل کنم. وقتی که غرورم رو کنترل بکنم، اون وقتی که برده نیستم، اون وقت جای خوبی هستم. چطوری میتونم غرورم رو کنترل کنم؟ And that's the answer to your question. من باید درک بکنم که من یک کامبینیشنی هستم از good and bad. Good and bad. I have to come to this realization that I'm part good and I'm part bad. And that's perfect. And that's perfect. And as long as I recognize my bad, then I can bring my bad to the right side, to the good side. ایگو میتونه به من کمک بکنه که من استقامت داشته باشم. ایگو میتونه به من کمک بکنه که من استرنث داشته باشم، من پرسیورنس داشته باشم، من ادامه بدم. Ego is essential. Ego can take me really, really high. But as long as I control it and I bring a balance to my ego, it's a good thing. We need ego. We need ego. But we need to control our ego. So what is self-love? من باید بدونم که من با تمام خوبیم و بدیم I'm perfect. I'm perfect. من باید خودم رو دوست داشته باشم. من باید غرورم رو دوست داشته باشم. من باید خوب خودم و بد خودم رو دوست داشته باشم. I'm not supposed to sit in sadness بگم I'm such an awful person. یا بگم این چه حرفی بود زدم، این چه کار کردم، بعد برم بشینم یه جا گریه کنم، برم بشینم توی depression، از خودم بدم بیاد، hate myself. No, that's not what we talk about. من باید realize بکنم که what do I need to change in myself و بدونم come to this realization and love myself to a point که بتونم خودم رو عوض کنم. یه فیلمی بود، یه نمایشنامه بود، نمیدونم حدود some 25 years ago مال آقای پرویز صیاد بود، اسمش بود خر، نمایشنامه خر، نمیدونم دیدیم نه. It was a fascinating theater که آخرش میگفت من با تمام خریتم خودم رو دوست دارم. یعنی چی؟ یعنی این که من باید بدونم there is good in me, there is bad in me and this is perfect and this is perfect و خدا انقدر به من خوبی داده که میتونم overcome کنم my short circuits, my بدیام. و اگر نداشته باشم اون لاو برای خودم، اون وقت هست که غروره توتالی عشقم ازم دزدیده. من نباید بذارم غرورم عشقم نسبت به خودم و خدام از من بگیره. I have to understand, okay, I'm not perfect, I have good, I have bad, I have short circuit, ولی every one of us has a special spark of the light force of God, which we call it neshama, soulmune, neshamamune, which is quite unique. ببینید خدا اومده وجود خودشو پخش کرده میونه همه. Every one of us has a spark of the light force of God. And that part that is given to us by the light force, he doesn't have it anymore. He's giving it to us. ریالایز میکنید چی میگم؟ اون قسمتی از نور خدا که الان توی وجود شماست که بهش میگیم نشما، میگه it's not with God, it's with you. You have a part of God within you, which is amazing. And that part is specifically made for you. It's for you. Nobody else has it. And with that, you can be the most amazing soul in the world. درست مثل یک ذره الماس میمونه که تو وجودتونه. It's so amazing and nobody has that. به خاطر همینه که اون تالنتی که شما دارید nobody else has. اون کاری که شما میتونید بکنید nobody else can do it. Nobody else can do it. کاری که ربای نوف میکنه nobody else can do it. Nobody. Amazing. Amazing. The way Rabbi Mordechai reads Torah, Ahmed, I've never seen anybody. Amazing. Amazing. This man reads Torah like it's hard even to scan it when he's reading it. It's that amazing. It's the talent.
And
it's
the way the speech that Rabbi Nader gives, nobody gives.
So that spark of light that is within you is special. It's for you. It's for your growth. Sometimes we let our ego to take over that spark because it becomes a klipa. It becomes a klipa. It blocks that shining part of your being to be dark, to be blocked, not to make a connection with the light force of God. When you love yourself, what do you love? You love your neshama. You love that spark of God. It's a gift is within you. ما هممون یه گیفتی داریم. And nobody else has. Nobody else can do what you can do. There is a story, I know we're running late, but it is such a beautiful story. میگن وقتی که میخواستن بیت المقدس رو بسازن, when they wanted to build the wall of the بیت المقدس, they asked this contractor to build the most beautiful walls for بیت المقدس. So this guy goes and picks up the best Jerusalem stone in Yerushalayim, brings the best looking stone, the best cuts to build the wall. But between they find this little stone who's ugly, not in good shape. میگه I don't need this part. He puts it away and he starts building the wall. The wall is almost finished. میبینن there is one piece of wall is not finished. کجا? Right on the entrance of one of the entrances, the 7 entrances to the Beit HaMikdash. One of them, there is one piece is missing. The main entrance. نگاه میکنن میبینن there is no more stone. There is only one piece of stone. That ugly looking piece of stone who was no good, fit perfect in that building that wall. So don't underestimate yourself. What you can do, nobody else can. What you can accomplish, nobody can accomplish. And who has Shalom blocks us of not reaching it? The freaking ego. That stupid ego who tells you you're not good, you're not good enough, what's good, doesn't let you get there. But the potential is there. The potential is there. When we remove this klipot, these dark forces that blocks us, then we reach our potential. So my recommendation is, Shab Moed, ask. The problem is we don't ask God enough. And we ask God stupid requests. God, give me health. You think God doesn't want to give you health? God is waiting for you to give you health. God, please give me $1 million. God, please find me my soulmate. Are you kidding me? God doesn't want you to find your soulmate. God doesn't want you to have all the money in the world. That's not the question to ask. God, help me overcome my ego. God, help me to be the best I can be. God, let me be the shining neshama that you want me to be. Help me overcome my shortcoming. Help me to be the best I can be. You know, they say when you leave this world, when you go to the Olam Haba, the first question they ask you, they don't ask you why you didn't become Rabbi Nof. They don't ask you why you didn't become Rabbi Mordechai. They don't ask you why you didn't become Moshe Rabbeinu. They ask you why you didn't become the best Nader you could have been. Why you didn't become the best Esther that you could have been? That's the thing. That's what we should ask for. خدایا به من قدرت بده من بشم بهترین. To be the best I can be for myself, for my family, for the whole world. Help me to help people. Give me power to be the shining star that you want me to be. And then it comes to you. It captures you. And we understand how silly the request is. The Kabbalists, they never ask things for themselves. They always ask, if they need healing, they ask for somebody else's healing. If they need sustenance, they ask for somebody else's sustenance. خدایا به این کمک کن. خدایا به اون کمک کن. خدایا به این مریض کمک کن. I remember one scene a few years ago on a Yom Kippur. I knew this girl who wanted to get married, and it didn't happen to her. So I asked her to come to Yom Kippur. And during the Ne'ilah, I called her to go up and open the Echal. I wanted her to open the Echal so she can open up the gates for her. There was another girl came up with her. And I saw that she asked her friend to go up with her to the Echal. And I didn't know the other girl. I knew her. I knew her problem is that she's looking to get married. So I told her, when you go up there, open the Echal, pray. Okay. Then she went up there and she asked the other girl, open up. And I was telling him, hey, you open up. I asked you to go in and open up. And she didn't do it. She stayed back. Then she came down and I said, I asked you to open the Echal. Why didn't you open it? She said, she needs me more than I do. She needs me more than I do. A year after, not only she was married, she had her baby in her eye. That's how it works. That's how it works. That's how it works. She too. That's how it works. When we pray for others. Allah. Before we go to the rest of the Passover, thank you for a good question. You know, on April 15, we have a party for our young community, our young boys and girls, over 21. This is the third year in a row that we have Pesach party for the young people. It's going to be amazing. It's all over the internet. We're letting the whole world know. It's a fantastic party, fantastic party. And we want to make it as good as it gets. So please, either notify the family to invite them, or another way you could help is sponsor Bashim, be a sponsor of this party, donate some money so we can make the best party possible. And when you help in such a things, if you have kids, your family who need to find their soulmate, this is how things opens up.
Amen.
So please, thank you. So please spread the word, financially help, so we can make this amazing night, the Zat Hashem, everybody finds his or her soulmate. Any other thing I needed to announce? No? Okay. So, it's okay if I speak English? I see.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're good? We're good? Okay. Every time I see young people, it's just Farsi gets. Okay. So now we have the consciousness. Everybody got what the consciousness should be on Passover, right? I'm working on myself. I'm looking to myself. I'm going to pray God to help me. If I have fear, God help me to overcome that fear. If I don't have self-confidence, God help me. Give me more strength to have self-confidence. Don't ask for stupid small things. All right? Ask big. Ask good thing. Ask خدایا کمکم کن من بلسینگامو ببینم. Help me see my blessing in my life. خدایا کمکم کن من بتونم به دیگران کمک کنم. خدایا make me strong enough so I can be a shining star. Ask big. Don't ask small. Ask big. The gate of heavens are open that night. The light is shining. It's Or Haganos. It's the most purest form of a light of freedom. Ask big. Ask big. And work on yourself. Constantly work yourself. So why do we read this Haggadah, this book? It's a huge book with lots of praying, and we do a lot of weird things. Why do we do all this? Why can't I just stay in my apartment, in my house, all by myself, in my private moment, and ask God? Why do I have to eat matzah? Why do I have to have 4 cups of wine? What is this Seder plate? What is this Seder plate? So we learned that this light that we receive is a metaphysical light. It's not a physical light. You can't buy it from a supermarket. It shines, it comes in. Now I have to prepare a vessel, a position, to bring this light into my home, into my surrounding, and into my body. The more I empty myself from all the negative thoughts, all the chametz which is in my body, the more I receive this light. But because we have this physical body, and it rules by physicality, then I have to do something that my physical vessel becomes a conduit of this light force, becomes a place that this light force wants to reside. This light that comes in, if you have come to Kabbalah classes, you see that we have 10 sefirot. We have 10 energy consciousness, 10 level of energy, which we call it 10 sefirot. Keter, Chokhmah, Bina, Chesed, Gevurat, Tiferet, Netzach, Chod, Yesod, and Malchut. Everything in this world, physically or metaphysically, comes through these 10 sefirot. Everything is bound by these 10 sefirot. We have 10 fingers. Everything is bound by these 10 sefirot. When the light force comes in, goes through these sefirot until it gets to Malchut, which is our physical being. We're all built with this same 10 sefirot. Every one of us has built in a 10 sefirot within us. When we receive light, it goes through our physical 10 sefirot. So, today is very easy to understand it. There is internet in the clouds. In order for you to bring the internet to your home, you need to have a laptop, right? You need a computer to connect to the Wi-Fi. If you don't have a laptop, you don't have an iPhone, you can't bring it down. You can't just sit home and say the internet comes in. No, you need a vessel. You need a vessel to connect to the internet. And in this internet, this spiritual internet, this spiritual light has 10 bodies within it, has 10 sefirot within it. So if I want to capture all the aspect of this 10 sefirot, I have to build the vessel, I have to have the right laptop that can bring all the power of these 10 sefirot. Make sense? You need to have a good iPhone or a good iPad or a good laptop to totally get the ultimate Wi-Fi, the ultimate internet that you can bring. So what do we do to bring it down? We have to build this iPad, this laptop. What is our laptop? Seder plate. You know the Seder plate? It's your laptop. How does it work? Are you kidding me? Seder plate is a laptop? Let's go through it. First of all, we have the plate itself, right? It's a round plate. It cannot be a square. Why cannot be a square? Why does it have to be round? There is no beginning, no end to something that is circular. This round Seder plate is your Malchut. You put everything on it. What do you put on this Seder plate? We put 6 ingredients, right? 6 تا چیز میذاریم روش, right? We put maror, which is bitter herb. We put the lamb shanks, the bone. We put eggs. we put charoset, we put lettuce, and we put parsley. 6 ingredients, right? And it has a place. My recommendation to all of you, on a Pesach night, you go, if you're in your house or in your family's house, you take the Seder plate. You tell yourself, the Seder plate, the round table, this is my malchut. This is my plate. Then the 6 ingredient that you put, we start with chesed. There are, if you look at these 10 sefirot, there is malchut, then there is 6 sefirot, which we call ze'er anpin, and then there are 3 upper sefirot, which we call gar. Now, lamb shanks, the lamb shank that we burn, you remember the burn, part of the bone that we burn, represents chesed. Gevurah is the egg. Tiferet is maror, the bitter herb. Netzach is the charoset. Hod is parsley. Yesod is the lettuce. And then on top of it we put 3 matzah, right? Everybody knows how to set up the Seder plate? Now you do. 3 matzah. The 3 matzah represents Keter, Chokhmah, Bina. So your laptop, your Seder plate, becomes a conduit that receives these 10 sefirot. Now these 6 ingredients, which represents the ze'er anpin, chesed, gevurah, tiferet, netzach, hod, the lamb shank has a consciousness. Eggs has a consciousness. Lettuce has a consciousness. Parsley has a consciousness. Charoset has a consciousness. Charoset, چیش میگیم به فارسی؟ حلب. And جالب اینه که charoset, Ari explains that has to be a blend of 10 different ingredients. So again, in charoset, there is 10 sefirot. And each of these components within it has a 10 sefirot within it too. Now let's be a little bit, let's get wise. What are you talking about? A bone is chesed, eggs is gevurah. You know, when God wanted to manifest different energies in the world, all these metaphysical energies that exist in the world, when he wanted it to manifest it in the physical world, he used something in the physical world to bring that energy down. When God wanted to bring chesed, kindness, into the world, he used Abraham. Abraham became the embodiment of kindness. When God wanted to create restriction, gevurah, judgment, power into the world, he did it through Isaac. When he created Isaac, the whole concept of gevurah, which is strength, which is judgment, he manifested it through Isaac. When he wanted to create balance in this world, he did it through Yaakov. Yaakov has the embodiment of beauty, balance. When he wanted to create Netzach, which means victory, he did it through Moshe Rabbeinu. When he wanted to create Hod, which is glory, he created it through Aharon, Kohen Gadol. When he wanted to create the Yesod, which is foundation, he did it through Yosef HaSadiq. When he wanted to manifest everything in the physical world, he used the David HaMelech. Now that's one thing to understand. Have you ever noticed ants? You know, the little ants, this little creature, you know what they do all day? What ants do all day?
Collect food.
Collect, right? They collect food. How much of that food they eat? Not much, right? They have this little body, tiny body, but all day they go and they save. The consciousness of ant is saving. So When God created
They
ants,
cannot live more than 6 months. That's the life of ant.
thank you. So when God created ants, what did he wanted to create? The consciousness of saving. By creating ant, he created the consciousness of saving. By creating ram, he manifested the energy of selfishness. You see, it's through the physical being that how you bring different energies to the world. So the lamb shanks, when you burn it, we said the lamb itself represents selfishness, ego. When you burn it, when you burn that ego of it, it becomes like Abraham Avinu. It becomes chesed. That's why the lamb shanks becomes the channel to bring down chesed. Eggs. Egg is the only thing. Then the more you cook it, the stronger it becomes. It represents gevurah. It becomes strength. So all these ingredients that we choose, we select, it's not just tradition. It has a technology behind it. You're building an iPad. You're building a laptop that brings down the energy of Pesach. And if you notice, the 3 matzots that we put on the top, we call it Kohanim, Levi, Israel. Or I remember my father, and you're supposed to show it. Why you have to show it? Like, this is the first matzah, this is the second matzah, and then you can even make a hole to make it a separate, or you break part of the matzah to make it look like a dalet. All this with consciousness. Remember, everything is consciousness. So Shab Moed Keshot, you take your Seder plate and you go through it. You say, I have my 3 matzos, this is Keter Chochma Bina, I have my lettuce, this is Chesed Gevurah Tiferet Netzach Hod Yesod, I have the plate, I have the 10 Sefirot, I have my laptop ready to receive the light force. Now you have the physical vessel to receive the light force. And what do we do? What is the first thing we do? We actually got to do 15 barachot. There are 15 stages on Passover. So your laptop actually has 15 buttons. On your laptop you need button, right? You need to have certain button to connect to certain things. There are 15 barachots. There are 15 stages that you connect with a different aspect of the life force. Now, one of the first things that we do is we pick up the Seder plate and we do what? We say, Allah ma'aniyadiyachalut, right?
Yeah.
What is that? Well, you're supposed to shake it, right? You hold it, Allah ma'aniyadiyachalut, and everybody has to say it. Everybody in the family, the old, the young, everybody has to say it. Why?
To receive the light.
You have your laptop. You have to activate your laptop, right? What is the program? You need a program. You need a program to activate your laptop. Allah ma'aniyadiyachalut is your program, is your software. Guess what language is Alama? Aramaic. Why is it Aramaic? Why can't it be Hebrew?
Direct goes to the Hashem.
It directly goes to the light force of God. Aramaic is the only language who's not affected by the angels. That night, you don't need angels. You don't need Michael, you don't need Gabriel, you don't need nobody. It's you and the light force of God. So you use the Aramaic language, you program your laptop, and you connect to the light force of Pesach.
What language is
Aramaic.
that?
Aramaic is the Urumiyeh. It's the language that they use during the Bet HaMikdash. It's the language that the Zohar is written. It's the language that some of our prayers are in. Aramaic is the same Hebrew letters, same pronunciation, but different meaning. It's a different language. And they say that the Aramaic language is the language that is not controlled by the angels. Usually when we say a prayer, we have Michael angel who comes and takes our prayer to the upper world. That night, that prayer, the Seder, and by the way, Seder means what in Hebrew? Order. You want to bring order to what?
Your life.
to your consciousness. You want to bring order to your consciousness. It's all about consciousness. When you bring order to your consciousness, you bring order to your life. It's the consciousness who mess up things. It's the consciousness who make things out of order. If your conscience is perfect, is right, that's how you bring order to your life. Now, so please, I want you all to remember me and do this. When you get there, you go to these parties, and I know Persian parties are crazy. You have the family, you have the friends, you have the teenager, the kids, everybody could be chaos, right? You go in, focus on what you need to do. You go see the Seder. If the Seder plate is already ready, you go check it out. You count it for yourself. I have my Malchut, I have Keter Chochmah Bina, Chesed Gevurah Tiferet. Actually, we're going to put this online, the picture of all this, and you can go online and you could print it. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to print it and bring it to you, but you could go online and check it out. So that's the first thing to do. Now, and remember, there are 15 stages into the whole night. There are 15 buttons on your computer, on your laptop, and you need to activate all of it to receive the whole thing. So how many glasses of wine we're having? 4. Why 4? Why 4? Why couldn't we have, like, Friday nights, one shot and it's enough? And then what we're supposed to do when we drink the wine, we we put our left hand on a table or something, we ground our left hand and we drink the wine. Why? This light force that we're talking about, it's coming from a source that has 4 amazing letters in it. Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey. Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey. So the first cup that you're having, you make a meditation. This is the Yud. And you put your hand down because you want your Gevurah, your judgment, the ego, you want to ground it. You ground your ego, you shut it down, and you say, this is the Yud. And then the second cup is the Hey. And it's supposed to be minimum of 3 ounces. Why 3 ounces? Why 3? Minimum of 3 ounces. Am I right? 3 ounces. Why 3? Let's wait on that. So the Yud and Hey you do. And then what happens? We usually eat the dinner. And by then, and you had 2 cups. And then, if you want to forget about the Vav and the Hey. Now, the problem is, Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey is two different energy. Yud, Hey is potential. Vav, Hey is actual. So when you have the first 2 cups, it's all in potential. You still haven't brought it into your system yet. And you know what happens? Unfortunately, the Satan is so powerful. They say, شام خوردیم بزنیم بریم دیگه خسته شدیم فردا کلاس دارم فردا کار دارم I have to go to work it's too late چقدر طولش دادن wow right? A lot of people miss the last 2 cups not knowing the most essential part is the last cup, which is the Hey of Malchut you bring into yourself. So again, consciousness is everything. The first cup is Yud. The second cup is Hey. The third cup is Vav. The last cup is the last Hey. So you bring the totality of the Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey into your being. Now we read about for children, everything. If you notice, everything is in 4. Because we're connecting to the 4 different levels of light force that emanates that night. Why is it so long? Couldn't it be just like half an hour, we do it and we go? Why? I mean, you read so many things and everybody has to listen and the kids have to sing. Why do they have to sing? Why can't we just read it all half an hour and go? Why? What? خدا میخواد نقاما بهمون بده. Right? This energy, the maximum amount of this energy is within the first 6 hours. The first 6 hours is the most potent time of this light force. We have problem with 6 hours. You know, Adam and Eve, they couldn't wait 6 hours more in Garden of Eden. They messed up when they didn't wait 6 hours until Shabbat comes. They ate the apple before Shabbat came. Bnei Israel, when they were at the bottom of the Mount Sinai, and Moshe was on the top of the mountain, bringing the tablet down, it was 6 hours before Moshe came, and we built the stupid golden calf. Impatient. Impatient is one of the biggest trick of Satan. It's the biggest trick of our ego. 6 hours. So the first 6 hours, which is almost from 10 o'clock to 4, or actually from 12 to 6, 12 a.m. at midnight, until 6 is the most potent time of this light force. There is a story in the Haggadah that it talks about Rabbi Akiva. Have you read it? Rabbi Akiva is sitting with his student on a Passover night, and they are talking about Torah. They're talking about the spirituality, and they're talking, and they're talking, and they're talking, and it becomes in the morning. And they say, Rabbi Akiva, it's morning. And you read this story. Why would you read such a story that night? Hello, the light is shining for 6 hours. So Rabbi Akiva kept everybody up so everybody could benefit this most potent time of the light force that comes in. So why can't I just watch Gone with the Winds for 6 hours that night? Right? I stay up. I watch the Godfather saga for 6 hours. Do I receive the same thing? Why not? Why not? Why do I have to read the Haggadah? How is it designed? It's designed so it stimulates the light. It's just like shaking the Seder plates. You're constantly stimulating, awakening this light force that is coming to your house. And you open the door for Eliyahu and Navi to come in, to join. And you ask everybody else who doesn't have a Seder to come into your house because you want to share this light with the whole world. We're not selfish people. We're not supposed to be selfish. We're supposed to share this light with the whole world. So Seder night, pace yourself. Sit back. Impatient is the biggest enemy of Seder night. Not knowing. My recommendation is to you. Even if you go to this crazy, chaotic party and you have teenagers who are running everywhere and you don't know what's going on, the minimum is scan the whole Haggadah. Do the 15, there are 15 blessings, 15 barachot. Those are your buttons to activate your Seder plates. Make sure you say the blessing or you answer the Amen. You answer the Amen. There is washing hand, there is eating the herb thing, there is eating the matzah, there is the food, there is a blessing for Hillel. There is 15. Remember, count it for yourself. I know after 4 cups we make a little bit of, not all of it, but that's how it's supposed to be. And why do we sing? Why are we supposed to be happy? Guys, the only way you bring the light force into your system is by being happy. Being happy. If you're sad, if you're impatient, اگه حوصلتون سر رفته, اگه کف کردید, if you ask questions, if you start complaining, why the food wasn't so good, you're gonna miss this light force that is coming to you. Be happy, be cheerful, sing, and help others. Try to teach other people. Any question?
So what time do we start the Seder?
Usually we start before midnight.
But the main light.
But the main force, it's actually the main light, the main